Feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight.
Hey guys, so today's look is my part 1 of 2 Valentine's Day looks. This one right here is my softer, more romantic look, and then the next one's gonna be more bold and sexy. But this is probably something that I would lean more towards too, just because I like the soft look, the pinks and the nudes and the nice glowy skin. That's just personally my preference, but I know that there are some people that like to go all out and to put on bold lips and have the winged liners and all that, so that will come later. I didn't show you the entire process of how I did my hair, but just the basic idea on the bottom layers. This is still pretty curly for what I want, because normally I just like the, you know, loose wave look, I guess, I don't know. So normally what I do is I will curl my hair just a little bit tighter, and then I'll just like keep doing this so that my curls can loosen up and get them to where I want to be. I know some people will like flatten iron their hair on top of curling it, and I don't like doing that just because I don't like doing double heat. I don't even like blow drying my hair before I curl it or straighten or anything. I like to air dry my hair. If I need some volume in it, then I will use it's the Living Proof Full Dry Volume Blast, and it's for instant lasting volume and texture. So I'll just like put it in my roots, just like spray it here, fluff it up a little bit, and it gives me a little more volume in it, just because I don't like flat hair, makes my head look bigger. All of the shadows I used came out of the Naked palette. This is the Naked 3, so this is the one that's like very pink and mauve toned, and as you guys can see, I like it. I don't really use like these last 2 colors. They're a little, I just don't really use them, but used this entire palette, and I think I used like three or 4 colors in this. So I know that there is a cheaper palette out there that's like a knockoff. I can't remember if it's L'Oreal or what it is. Not a knockoff, but like a dupe. So yeah, if you know which one I'm talking about, then you can definitely use that, or you know, you could find something similar to the colors I have, or you could do whatever you want. It's makeup, it's your thing. So yeah, this was just pretty simple. I think honestly, from the time it took me to film to do this entire look, I think it was about an hour to do this whole look, and I like it. I think it's pretty, it's flattering on my eyes. Yeah, so if you guys want to go ahead and see how I got this look, then please keep watching. Alright, so I'm going to start off by clipping all of my hair back into a half up, half down, and then going with my NYX color corrector and just taking that green and going over those areas of just really red, you know, those pimples, basically because it's that time of the month and my skin just kind of hated me. And then I'm going in with my new obsession, which is the L'Oreal Lumi Custom Drops, and they are crazily pigmented, like you will see in a couple of moments. I'm just putting this basically on the high points of my face so that when I'm putting foundation on top, it's creating this inner glow instead of just putting highlighter on top of my skin. It's just creating this overall youthful radiance, so I really love it. But this stuff is, you know, pretty cheap, and it's crazy how beautiful the color is and how I just gleam like a glazed donut. And sticking with the glowy skin theme, I'm taking my Lumi cushion and just dipping my beauty blender into that and pressing it into my face. I really like the cushion as opposed to the liquid foundation, just because I feel like
I honestly don't know what the difference really is, but there really is a difference for me when I apply it to my skin, and I just feel like the Lumi makes my skin look better and doesn't make me look very oily as compared to the bottled version. I don't know why. It's weird. And as always, I'm going in with my two favorite concealers. They are the Maybelline Fit Me concealers in the colors Sand and Light, I believe. And I'm using Sand to cover up those imperfections that are peeping through that my foundation didn't quite cover. And then I'm going to use the lighter color to highlight under my eyes and just the high points of my face. So I've really been enjoying just putting the lighter color like right in the inner corner of my eye and then going up into the eye socket above, just because I feel like this gives me a better overall brightening effect to my eye rather than making that big triangle. Sometimes I still do that, but I feel like this just looks very pretty on camera and in photos. So this is what I've been doing a lot more recently. And of course, I am going in and highlighting the rest of my face, the center of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, cupid's bow, chin, and the outer corners of my mouth, as you'll see. And some of you have been asking why I go step at a time instead of just putting all the concealer on then blending, and that's because I've noticed that if I leave the concealer on too long, it will dry, and so there will be like lines of where I put the doe foot with the product on, and you can just see it, and it's not cute.
Chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because.
So if there's one thing that you can learn from me, it's to always make sure that you're blending out your under eyes before you set them with powder, because if you don't, you are going to set those creases that are under your eyes, and that's precisely what you don't want to happen, because when you are setting those lines, it makes your face look tired and dull and just older. So I am baking under my eyes and then my forehead, down the bridge of my nose and chin, just the areas where I tend to get very, very oily. And then I'm just doing a light dusting of the translucent powder over the rest of my face just to kind of set everything else.
Can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move.
Couldn't tell, I really love this bronzer. It is a nice color, and funny story is that I picked this up when I was in New York with my boyfriend because the bronzer that I had initially brought fell on the floor and shattered. So I was like, well, great. So I literally walked down to the CVS that was right across the street from our hotel and just picked this up, and I honestly love it. So sometimes I hardcore contour my nose, but for the most part I just do this. I take the bronzer and do a light dusting just on the sides of my nose just to make it look a little slimmer, and then of course taking that bronzer and putting it on my forehead because, I mean, come on, have you seen it? It's huge. And then to give the appearance of a more sculpted cheekbone, I am baking just under where I had put the bronzer just to sharpen up that line. And don't worry, I blend it later. It's not just like a sharp white line that's on my face. But I really do like this technique just because it kind of makes everything more clean. Okay, there is something about this powder. It's Physicians Formula. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a highlighter, but I don't really use it as a highlighter just because it doesn't really have that bam effect that I want. So normally I just use it as kind of a skin illuminator, like the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, and I swear it just gives your skin this beautiful inner glow. And then I'm just brushing away that bake that is under my eye, and I'm kind of getting rough on my eyelids just because I forgot to set those, so I'm like having to get rid of that creasing. So I dug deep into my makeup collection and I found these highlighting pearls by The Body Shop, and my sister had given this to me a long time ago and I used to use it all the time, but I found it and I was like, oh my god, I forgot how much I liked this as a highlighter. So I used this and I really do enjoy this highlighter because it's not super bright and just in charge. Like, I love a good highlight, but for looks like this, you know, I kind of want to bring it down a notch and just add some subtlety to the look, and this highlighter just did exactly that for me. I'm taking MAC Blush Baby and putting that on the apples of my cheeks, and this was actually the first MAC blush I've ever bought before. And then I'm just going through and showing you the colors that I'm using in the Naked 3 palette. Of course, I'm using the lightest color to set my eyelids, then the brown mauve shade just to get into my crease, and I'm really blending that out just to add some depth and dimension to my eyes, because I don't really have that deep crease, so I kind of have to give that illusion that, okay, there is a crease there. And then I'm taking that darker brown, that matte brown, and then I'm just running that along the outer V and really focusing it on that corner of my eye just to give it a sort of cat-like effect, but I really just want to bring focus on that outer corner of my eye. And then taking that darker shimmery pink and just kind of working that mainly from the outer darker corner in towards the inner corner just to give it that gradient effect, and making sure that I blend all those colors together very well. And then I'm taking that second to lightest shimmery pink and I'm using that to highlight the inner corners of my eyes and then the brow bone as well. And I always do this, but I just go through and make sure that my eyeshadows are completely blended and there are no harsh lines, so I always do this at the end with a clean brush. And then, as usual, I am curling my lashes, and I do that weird thing where I roll my eyeballs in the back of my head, but you know what? It's fine. And then this is probably my favorite mascara I've ever used. It's the L'Oreal that Lash Volume Paradise. I don't know, but it makes my eyelashes so long and so voluminous, and I love this. And normally I do 2 coats and it just, oh my gosh, I cannot say enough good things about this mascara. But if you have not bought it, you need to go out and buy it because it is literally a game changer. So this is the lip combination I'm using, and I will label the colors and brands below, but I'm using this Jordana lip liner, and I really love their lip liners. They sell them at Walgreens and they're like $2 or something, but I love them. They're just very smooth and creamy and they have a good array of colors, so I honestly have a lot of these now that I think about it. Then I am just applying a Milani lipstick, which I will link the color below, and then I am topping that with a nice gloss. I think it's LA Colors or LA Girl, I can't remember, but I liked the look of a glossy lip with this eye look. It just tied it all together. And then, as usual, I am setting my face with my Mario Badescu spray and fanning it until it's dry. As you can see, I literally jumped right in with my hair, and I'm just taking this Chi wand that I've had for a couple years, and I'm wrapping about a 1-inch strand over the curling iron and then just pulling that off. And I didn't really show you completely, but when I take off the curl, I pull it down to loosen it up because I do not want a tight curl. I just want some loose waves. So that is my technique of how I really achieve like my wavy hair. And I switch from forward and backward so it's not all going in the same direction, so it kind of looks a little bit more natural.
Lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move.
This is the complete look. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you could, give it a thumbs up and a subscribe if you aren't already. I post new videos every week, and all of my Instagram info will be down in the box below, as well as a list of all the products that I use, so you guys can go ahead and see where to get them. But yeah, thank you again, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.